Moon in Gemini states the answers you need are coming. Now, the way answers tend to come into a person's life, it's usually at the point where it's darkest before dawn. Sagittarius says, I see. Gemini says, I think. The full moon is about completion, results, due to forgiveness. So while we're in the Sagittarius season, there's going to be a lot of things that you see. In the full moon, with the full moon in Gemini, it's having you reanalyze, and even more so that the ruling planet of Gemini is retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, is having you reanalyze, reflect on what it is that you've been seeing. That's one of the ways that you can utilize a Mercury retrograde. You usually hear, don't start something. However, that's actually one of the opportune times to start something. And then when it goes back direct, if you still want to continue on with it, you continue on with it. If you don't, because it can definitely, certainly rather, stand the test of time or thinking space. As Mercury rules Gemini, but it also rules Virgo. And Virgo says, I analyze. So anything that you start and that you may have to analyze, anything that you, let's say you start something while Mercury is direct, and then it turns retrograde. You go into this process of having to reanalyze what you started while it was direct. That when you are in the position of starting something while Mercury is retrograde, you definitely go into this process of quantum leaping an experience. Greetings is the transformation from me. Mwah. Welcome, mama. You definitely go into this space of quantum leaping an experience where you can, let's say you start something during Mercury retrograde that is a karmic lesson that was supposed to take you, this is just an example, that was supposed to take you about 17 years. But you get into that cycle or that experience during Mercury retrograde, you can literally close out them 17 years if the shit don't work out the way it's supposed to, the way you would want it to. Okay, so that way you feel as though, okay, this is where you want to be. You can utilize that Mercury retrograde to actually speed up that process. Although the planet of thinking is slowing down, but that's also the key. Because you're in this state of slowing down what it is you're thinking about before it becomes a definite thought. So it's looking for words, thinking, to put into a sentence, a thought. That thought becomes the statement that becomes your reality. So when Mercury is retrograde, what you're thinking about tends to slow down. Shit, to the point you may not even be thinking. And that's okay too. Okay, it's more than okay, honestly. But yeah, I will have to watch this back myself because that was a whole channel. Gratitude. It's been a story of my life. Just having thoughts, because it was literally nowhere near thinking about something and wondering. It was just thought after thought after thought, and then resource after resource would come towards me to confirm it. So, yeah. Let's see what the vibe is, though. Let's see what message Source has for the collective. And I love that I have a Mercury in Sagittarius, and Mercury is in Sagittarius right now, retrograde. So it actually helps me with the way my downloads come in, because I get downloads the way you see the Eight of Wands. It's just be. I said, oh, this is why I ran track then. Makes sense. Yeah. Let's see what the message is from. I don't remember the name of this deck, honestly. Is it it's something with the stars. 903 903 522 on the screen. 903 522 622 on the screen. Ooh, body activations. 6 up top. 2332. Reflections. 4 6. That's 10. What's this? Ooh, been talking. Longing for home, belonging. The original light workers. This has to do with Orion. So Gemini is definitely, this is Gemini energy. In regards to Orion, Mintaka. The ever unfolding rose, cracked opening is happening for you, not to you. Makes sense? So 13. It speaks to you having the wisdom of the serpent. Now, the serpent is used to represent the entire chakra system or your spinal column. But when it's coiled up, there's a lot of restrictions that one is holding on to due to survival mode. Afraid to release certain restrictions because of not knowing what's going to happen next. So one would sit in survival mode. Everything is happening for you, not to you. You're one of the original light workers, which means if you're working the light, you come from the dark. You come from it all. Okay? Now, I have to take my time with this one. That fast. Longing for home. Why am I being drawn to focus on that? It's actually something I was about to say that I'm not supposed to say right now, but I'm going to say it at some point, but it's something about not right now. Longing for home, you have the High Priestess that comes out. How are you being called to step up and lead? Are you doing what you're supposed to do right now? Because this longing for home or longing to be in the space that you feel as though you can't reach, or longing to be around a person that has transcended, when that was actually part of your purpose to get you to do what you're called to step up and do, especially in terms of being a leader. You're the one that has to rise up first. You're the one that has to rise up first. That's why it said, for you, not to you. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You're very close. Your energy, from what I'm picking up here, those of you that are tuned into this message, Friday the 13th, full moon in Gemini, Venus energy Friday, you're very close to source. You have a very strong connection to source. The way I am feeling this in my sub, tell you, anytime y'all hear me talk about my solar plexus going off, pay attention. You're very close to source. For some of you, this got something to do with Saturn or being an honorary of the concept of time, coming from a bloodline in regards to what time actually is in terms of emitting your light. That word backwards. Shout out to Dr. B, because I'm seeing his face right now as I'm saying that. Okay. You've been training for this for lifetimes. This came out reverse. Inner temple. It's time for you to step out. It's time for you to come out of your shell. Devotion. Tune into the portals of your heart. It landed right on top of how are you being called to step up and lead. And the way I'm being guided to relay this message to you is that you've been for some of you got something to do with your voice, because somebody's random. I never hear anybody sing out here outside on some shit. It got something to do with your voice or singing. But you've been in your inner portal that it's time for you to release that energy. It's time for you to let it on out. I'm literally seeing somebody just, their entire just body just splits, and it's your entire life force just comes on out. I love to see it. Look at this card upright though, because some of you may have seen this in a dream state. Speaking of dream states, I don't recall who was around, because it wasn't about who was around, but just this past night, I was at a party doing it. Did anybody go out and do the electric slide last night or some shit? Or if you're in here right now and you're going to an outing, 9/11, buck on the clock. If you're going to an outing, the electric slide is significant. Wait a minute. So if somebody asks you, because it's 9/11 on the clock, if somebody asks you to slide through and you feel this vibe not to go, don't go. I'm not doing that to scare anybody, but the fact that that's coming up and it's 9/11 on the clock, I mean, come on. That's giving premonition vibes, with 11 being the master number for the visionary. Something you've seen before. Or something has happened already. Hold on, I have to look into that. Where we go? Here. What's the advice about that? Just rushing on in there. Why don't you? What's the advice regarding that? Because that's not the first time this came up. This came up during the solar return energy too. Okay, I miss what you said. I'll go back and listen. Poverty. Somebody could be asking you for money. Say no. You may feel it. Oh. So it's not about actually you not going. It's not about going somewhere. It's about someone asking you for something that you always say yes to. Could be someone lazy that doesn't put the work in. 39, 38, that's 11. And this is 10. That's what it is. I'm not going to put anything else on that, but definitely has something to do with someone asking you for money that you may feel as though that you can't say no to. Yeah. It shifts you. It's connected to this. It shifts you away from your devotion, which came out on top of this priestess card. When you tune into the portal of your heart, whoever this is that may come towards you because they're not doing what they're supposed to do, they're not putting in the work when it comes to doing what they're supposed to do. When you feed them, obviously that energy grows and you constantly deplete yourself. So the question from the priestess was, you know this intuitively. You know exactly what you're supposed to do in this situation, even if there's something going on in regards to where there's a lack of reciprocity. It's time for you to say no to it. At the bottom of the deck with the inner temple coming out in reverse, you have trust the niggle. Wow. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And it's trying to tell it to you because it told it to you before. And it felt as though it didn't say it at all because one did not respond to it. What was being told? About what now? Godly. Because the way these solar flares are doing what they're doing too, there's a lot of activations that's happening in terms of people moving in layman's terms, moving in a certain way that got people feeling some type of way. But with these solar flares, that type of way, that feeling that people have outside of you feeling some type of way no longer affects you the way it used to. But for some of you, that could be something you're struggling with in the sense of you're no longer in that phase, that experience, or that body. Some of you literally switched bodies while still being in this physical body that you're in right now. Look at that, the Devil and the Queen of Wands. Now, before coming onto the live, this was sitting at the top of the deck and I had it over there. And all I heard was, because I had this segment, little statue next to these cards. And as I'm picking up these cards, I'm hearing this one say, I'm Sekhmet. I'm Sekhmet. I'm the one that's coming in to clear these energies out. So, wine, red wine could be of significance. I'm the one that's coming in to clear this out. So this could be energies that in the past, whenever you get around these frequencies, you feel your energy just being drained. Very similar to what this was saying here as well, in terms of not being, mindful and aware as to the devotion you've had working on your heart chakra and your inner temple. But when this person comes around, all of that goes out the window. And it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So, greetings, Goddess Fatima Bandera, Soul Fam member. Welcome, my love. No, you're fine. You're okay. You're not typing too much. Because you're not typing anything that's, you know what I'm saying? You're fine. Gratitude for asking, though. I appreciate, love you for asking. That's gratitude. Lack of balance, we tend to fall into low vibratory states below heart chakra, solar flares, paradigm shift. Yeah, that's it. What is the niggling feeling attempting to tell you? The moon, intuition, emotions connected to memories. The niggling feeling is telling you something about the energy in motion when you think of a certain memory. Did y'all hear that pop? Yo, it. Wow. What is this nigga? Golly. The tower. What about the tower? See, the tower is a sudden change. Let's say you in La La Land. This tower right here, 16/7, coming through as a spiritual intervention. Let's say you just standing up chilling. You ain't got a thought or worry in the world, but you're comfortable in life. And you standing on this carpet that if that carpet is pulled from beneath your feet, you in an entire sinkhole. That's what this tower is. But let's clarify. At the bottom of the deck, especially if you're in a position to make a decision. Now, you know what this is telling me about that money situation? Jupiter and Capricorn. You're somebody who would go through an expansion of lessons, Capricorn, for you to mature. But once you do, your wealth, mind, body, spirit, soul, materially, whew, you be the type of person, you rise up. Yeah, I'm gonna just go. I want to go to the Bahamas today. I want to go to Bermuda today. And I'll come back tonight. Yeah. Greetings, my beloved Just Joe. Welcome, fam. Shout out to Just Joe. So we're going to see what this tower is, because while you're in this process of gaining success, what I'm seeing is this, it's an energy of a person around you that distracts you from your truth. And that shit got to stop. Apparently, it was just 4022 on the screen. 422. Your sacred values are going to be changed because there is a protector or a spirit guide that is a bull, essence of a bull, and it sees this energy wearing red. And you know what happens at that point. Tower. And you notice what happens when a bullfighter encounters a bull. You see how they flip up? The Four of Coins, shaky. Now, Four of Coins speaks of you building a legacy. Literally speaks of you building a legacy. You could be a Capricorn also. Or you could have the sun in the 10th house, which makes you an honorary Capricorn. So you would be an ascended version of a Capricorn with the sun in the 10th house type vibes over here. With the entire devil at the bottom of the deck. So here's the way I'm seeing this, though. This is teaching you a lesson about how quickly you can manifest, but you won't see the gift and the wisdom that comes from that lesson if you sit in it longer than you're supposed to. Because of what? Possibly longing for home. And ain't Saturn in the back of this car? Yeah, it sure is. Right there. Why is this energy showing up this way then? It's a challenge for you to step away from whatever the situation is so you can continue to build. The fact that you have the Two of Pentacles that showed up at the bottom of the deck, and the Four of Pentacles is coming out sideways. If you look at it horizontally, it's giving a division instead of the 4 and the 2 coming together and having that level of reciprocity, the Six of Pentacles. Let me see what that is up there. It landed sideways too, right on top of this 4 of coins. This could be a relationship. It don't have to be one that you're in, a number 4. It could be a relationship that you've had in the past. It was part of your journey though. Yeah. It does. I can see that. I can see that. Let me continue here. Show me more. Wow. To get you out of this self-sabotaging way of living or lifestyle. With the 8 of Swords, this is more Jupiter energy right here. The 2 of Pentacles also connects to Jupiter as well, but in the sign of Capricorn, now you got Gemini energy. 8 of Swords. What is this? What is this? 4411. That's the information that's unlocking your throat chakra. 44 is definitely signaling anytime this situation comes around to block your vision, you're seeing 44 a lot more. But it doesn't seem as though some of you are aware of that or just taking it lightly as to when 44 shows up. Just 44, not 444, just 44. Because it's bringing in that 8 energy that something is about to change. There's a major spiritual event that's occurring in your life that's going to bring forth a transformation. But the key is your awareness for it to actually, you know what I'm saying, turn on and take off. The 5 of Swords. God, these cards is just doing. There go Gemini energy, Knight of Swords. They said it's Gemini, yes, but the gem inside of you, your vision, the gem inside of the eye, the gem inside of the eye. Don't let anybody distract you with their words when it comes to the gem that you have in regards to your vision. This is 13. And it is the 13th with the full moon in Gemini. What's behind the opposition? A new beginning. What's behind the opposition? A new beginning. We can close the message right there. We can close the message right there. What's behind the opposition is a new beginning. It's your reawakening that leads to some sort of innovation connected to your passion. The same way you're unable to say no to whatever this situation is, it's literally connected to the passion that you haven't yet been able to fully access. You might have seen a glimpse of it, but once you say no to, it's more so of a person or an energy that you feel within yourself that you're supposed to say no. The flame just stood still. You're supposed to say no, but you instantly say yes. And you're supposed to slow down and notice the no that is screaming within you. Especially when you're supposed to say no. Child. That's really all we have to do right now. Let me pull these mini oracle cards to wrap this up. Cause shit. Says child, someone you know since you were a child. That makes sense. Do what you love. Time to play. Boundless energy. Demand attention. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius could be of significance. Love to learn, imagination, delights in the simple things. Feel the delight in simple things by doing what you love with boundless energy. Demand your attention by doing what you love. You may have been demanding attention by getting someone to understand you. Okay. You got the gavel here, 4 of Sagittarius. Conviction, decisions made. Pay attention, offer accepted, being judged. Okay, I just heard get they ass out of the way. Some of you, this is a serious situation where you are being misjudged. And it affects you very deeply. But it's time to let that go. There's too many activations happening within this realm to be holding on to things that is connected to an old way of processing information, living. And okay. Because this is speaking to those that really understand, overstand, and understand at this point what it means to be love, light, and pure darkness. It's real easy to say to love everybody. But if we really look at the examples of nature and letting things go, people go, and not forcing that love, expecting them to change through the alchemical process of love that they may not even be open and receptive to. Does the same leaves that fall off the tree grow the next season? Absolutely not. 50-20 on the timer. So whatever must fall off, it must fall off. We got to stop placing this love energy into people that are really out here that's supposed to be, they are supposed to be placed back into the fucking void. Wherever they came from. Go back to everything. Okay. Because I'm going to speak to you from a different essence of myself at this point. All things are connected to source. But that's not all there is. This essence of being, life, experience of life, the way we perceive it is so fucking small. It's damn near dangerous. Depending on the way one perceives it. This is why there has been a suppression of the feminine energy. Because not every time, you know what I'm saying, that these sperm cells are rushing to the egg, make it, and a child is conceived, 51-51. No, that womb has to choose. Which one it wants to take on the process of developing that energy. And we out here calling nature mama. With a slight disrespect. This is really just being channeled through, because I'm very big on saying that too. All things are source. But just now it hit in a different way. I mean, it would. Full moon right now is in my polar reflection energy in terms of it having to do with information. While my moon sign is connected to a sign that's also connected to the planetary body or the celestial body that rules Gemini as well. So this is more so moving as though it's a moon in Virgo type of energy on a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? It's not even believing as the polar reflection of Virgo being Pisces, right? I believe. It's more so coming through as what that Virgo energy analyzes, the participation right now of Sagittarius and IC, it's a whole nother level. So the channel is going to come through a little where some of you in here too may have had the same idea about, I'm going to rewrite the Bible. That's one of the things I would always tell myself. I'm going to rewrite this Bible. But it doesn't have to be rewritten. It has to be retaught, actually. Just has to be retaught. That's one of the most highest forms, one of them, in terms of occult information. But if you read that shit literally, that shit get dangerous. Even more so, the statement of, as a man thinketh, so is he. That's an occult statement. That means you are aware that you are a legit alchemist, but most people are not too keen to that because they don't realize that your strongest position of alchemy is when you are going through a transformation. To alchemize a situation, you yourself have to also be going through a transformation. Basically, a state of you being uncomfortable. And something has to change. Your skin has to shed. Something's got to give. Feel me? Venus and Mars energy, divine masculine, divine feminine is definitely in the building. You understand me? But yeah, y'all. That's definitely something I'm going to have to dive deeper into. And this is the time for it. It's the time for it. Just give me to have that type of expansive mind. What's this? Autumn and summer. '23. Yo, my grandmother do not be playing for real. Okay. Something about 3 to 9 months from the waxing quarter moon, the mother, and the full moon. You have summer and autumn. Cancer, Leo, Virgo. This is confirming everything we just said. Expand on it. Infinite gratitude, Ashe. Expand on it. Go into the house of courage, strength, solar power, energy. 5, Leo. And you'll see. Go into the depths of your soul and you will see. With that, my loves, I leave you with your message for Friday the 13th, full moon in Gemini. I'll see y'all later. I'll be back, possibly.